So there's lots to blame to go around for what happened. Of course, I think most of the blame lies with the establishment Democrats who decided to choose a corporatist who was the most one of the most unpopular politicians in history over a populist. Look what happened. The Republican Party nominated and ran a populist, and the Democrats ran a corporatist establishment figure. It's supposed to be the other way. So I also want to talk about the media. I don't want to let them off the hook. We did a story with Tavis Smiley recently where he said he's not letting the media off the hook because they elevated Trump and they normalized him. They're so clueless, the media. Here's Keith Ellison from last year, 2015. He was on with George Snuffleupagus and a panel of people.
All I want to say is that anybody from the Democratic side of the fence who thinks that who's terrified of the possibility of President Trump better vote, better get active, better get involved, because this man has got some momentum, and we better be ready for the fact that he might be leading the Republican ticket next.
I know you don't believe that, but I want to go on.
Sorry to laugh.
Next week.
Those are the people who are informing us. Those are the people who are informing us. Those are millionaires who hang out with the people they're supposed to be exposing and investigating, completely out of touch with what's really happening, don't really know what's wrong with globalization and outsourcing of jobs, don't really get what's wrong with neoliberalism. Remember that? There he is last year, sounding the alarm about Trump. I know you don't really believe that.
Sorry to laugh.
Next week,
George, we had Jesse Ventura in Minnesota win the governorship. Nobody thought he was going to win. I'm telling you, stranger things have happened.
Well, and also, George,
Keith Ellison, letting you know. Hey, everybody, we're going to talk one more time about the election results. And I'm just going to show you the numbers, raw numbers, okay? So Donnie Tynahan's got 59 million votes. Hillary Clinton got 60 million votes. She got more votes than the guy who's going to be president. Why? Because 400 years ago, because 200 years ago when we started this government, we let a bunch of syphilitic white slave owners right into the Constitution that we wouldn't have direct elections of our president. Why? Because they didn't want democracy. They wanted white landowners to pick our leaders. And we still hang on to that today. And there's a good reason for it. It's because Americans are fucking stupid. And they let shit happen to them and they roll over and take it. They're going to take this. Hillary Clinton got more. This is the second time. And the first time this happened this century, in 2000, we got the Iraq War. Now, I wonder where and nobody's saying shit about it again, Jim. No one's upset about the Electoral College. No one is saying shit about it. It's crazy. It's a crazy system. The person who gets more votes loses. And if that was another country, do you know how much we would be laughing at them? Do you know how much could you imagine? Yeah, Russia, Putin got less votes, but somehow he's still president. What? That's not a democracy. That's what we would be saying. But no, it's here in the land of the free and the brave, except we still have a holdover, a fucking electoral system from when half the country was slaves. We still have that.
I don't know. I think North Dakota should have almost as much influence as California.
Yeah, as far as and then the Senate, it's the same thing. We have this crazy thing called the Senate, which is really the House of Lords. Because North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Montana, they have about 15 people living in those states. They get just as many representatives in the Senate as California. How many millions of people live in California? How many people live in Montana? There's less people in Montana than in my congressional district. That somehow they get 2 senators. That's why the country's fucked up. That's why Mitch McConnell can oppose Barack Obama for 8 years straight, because it's not real representation. That's just white power. That's what that is, the Senate. White power. And some people still to this day argue. I was on a podcast where there was a Hillary supporter arguing for the Electoral College the day before the election. I wonder how he feels now. And the idea and the reasons they gave were just stupid. The same old bullshit reasons. Well, then if we don't have the Electoral College, then no one would go campaign in rural states. You mean they wouldn't go campaign where no one lives? They wouldn't go campaign where no one lives. So now what we have is they only campaign in like 6 states, 6 swing states or so. But they still only go to a handful of states because of the Electoral College. And then guess what else? One of the bonuses of the Electoral College is we don't get to directly elect the president. 1/3 of the government, by the way. We don't get to do that. That's one of the bonuses. One of the bigger bonuses that the guy who gets less votes gets to become president. That's not democracy. I don't know what the hell that is. That's not democracy when the person who gets less votes gets to be the winner.
Newt Gingrich was against the Electoral College.
Well, I bet he's for it now.
Yeah. I mean, whoever wins with the Electoral College, they're for it. And when they lose with it, they're against it.
We've had 5 elections since 2000. In this century, we've had 5 elections. 2 of them, 40%. The guy who got less votes is the president. And everybody's like, get rid of third parties. Rachel Maddow, get rid of third parties. Get rid of third parties. Less voices, just the corporate voices. Just the pro-war, pro-corporate voices. That's all we need. Because I'm a super duper. How much money do you think Rachel Maddow has? $50 million in the bank? I bet $50 million.
I don't know. I think it was 17.
Well, she got to get at least $6 or $7 million a year.
Yeah.
So she's been doing that show since 2008, right? At least.
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's 8 years, 7 times 8, $56 million.
I think your point is she's more than rich enough to be comfortable.
Way, way, way more than rich enough. She's so rich she could pretend that Jill Stein had an influence on this fucking election with a straight face. So one of the big failings of this electoral cycle was the news media. And they propped up Trump. They put on his speeches. They did half the lefty journals were writing puff pieces for Hillary Clinton. So this is from Columbia Journalism Review. They say, hey, here's the return of journalism as malcontent. They go, we need to embrace, even relish our legacy as malcontents and troublemakers, people who are willing to say things that make everyone else uncomfortable. Yeah, that's not what corporate journalism is all about. It's all about access. It's all about being nice to people so they'll come on your show. And then when they come on your show, you're nice to them again. You don't try to humiliate them or expose them so they'll come back on your show again. That's what access journalism is. And he's saying, it's time that we go back to making people uncomfortable. He says that kind of reporting needs to be accompanied by a return to journalism's oppositional roots. It has done reporters no good to think of themselves as part of the establishment or a megaphone for the conventional wisdom. They are part of the establishment. That's the whole thing. They are part of the establishment. And we saw in the WikiLeaks emails, right? So they go to these parties off the record, news people with powerful politicians. They just go to a cocktail party, hang out. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to hang out. Those people are supposed to be afraid of you. They're not supposed to want to hang out with you, especially the most powerful people. So hopefully that's what happens. I don't see that coming. That was from the Ben Mankiewicz' Columbia School of Journalism. I hope that happens. I hope we get some malcontents. I hope we get some people in corporate media. Well, that's not happening. That's not happening. It's not happening. But it would be nice. But it happens here. That's just what this is about, right? We're not bought. We're not owned by the 6 major media companies. We have independence. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a subscriber. And that's what this is all about. So we're going to do that. We're going to be the opposition. We're going to go back to journalism's oppositional roots. We've been there the whole time. And no, I do not see myself as part of the establishment. No, I see myself as an outsider, even with journalism. I see myself as an outsider. I'm not one of them. I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to go to their parties. I don't want to be in with them. I want to be here in my studio making fun of them. So, everybody, we're talking about the president's reaction to Donnie Tanahan's becoming president. And here's what here's what our current president had to say. And this is what he had to say. I'll just play a little bit of it.
People here in the United States and all around the world. Now, Everybody is sad when their side loses an election. But the day after, we have to remember that we're actually all on one team. This is an intramural scrimmage. We're not Democrats first. We're not Republicans.
Okay, I'm going to stop it. This is just garbage. I mean, whatever. I know he's got to come out and calm people and what have you. But, you know, there was a guy who just ran around calling you not a citizen, race baiting you for 8 years. He's threatened Muslims. He's told people to get punched out at his own thing. He's threatened everybody with physical violence. He's normalizing sexual predators. This is a tough time. So don't act like it's just any other goddamn election. Because it's not just any other goddamn election. Something just fucking happened that is scaring the shit out of people.
And please don't use sports metaphors.
Oh, this is an intramural. What do you... Hey, again, pay no attention. I don't know. You know, whatever. I understand he's got to do things to calm the country down. But here's what I think you should do. It's what Bernie Sanders said. And here's what Bernie Sanders said. He said, to the degree that Mr. Trump is serious about pursuing policies that improve the lives of working families in this country, I and other progressives are prepared to work with him. Okay, that's a pretty good message. To the degree that he pursues racist, sexist, xenophobic, and anti-environment policies, we will vigorously oppose him. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. Hey, if he's going to do things that help the country, we're on board. If he's going to bring that crap into the White House, we're going to oppose him as hard as we can. That's what Barack Obama should have said to people. And people will be like, oh, thank God we're going to have the president on our side. Instead of the president pretending like he doesn't understand what the fuck is going on, which is what he's doing. Jim, I don't know. Am I misreading his speech? I understand he's trying to not excite people and make sure, because there was people out in the streets last night and what have, but this was before that. He said all this stuff. And then people went out in the streets. Why? Because I don't think Barack Obama spoke to anything. What do you think, Jim?
I think he's being
both sides do it.
Obama the doormat again.
Yeah, Obama the doormat.
And it's not working here because that's not reassuring. What Bernie just said is reassuring.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
That's reassuring. Hey, we're not going to roll over for this guy. That's just because he won doesn't mean we're not going away. And when Barack Obama was like, hey, come on, folks, it's okay. It's all pretend. Remember all that shit I said last week? Remember all the stuff Hillary Clinton said? Remember how we scared everybody about nuclear war and him being with the Russians and him the end of everything? That the only thing standing between you and the end of the fucking world was Hillary Clinton? Remember how we said all that? Forget it.
And comparing it to intramural sports is it's like comparing it to both sides are playing with the same instruments and the same motivations for fair play. No, that's bullshit. One side wants to annihilate the other side, basically.
Exactly. One wants to throw the other side in prison.
And never have to play again. You know?
Yes. So, again, Bernie Sanders nails it. Barack Obama's a mealy-mouthed fucking doormat. Exactly. Now go push the TPP, Barack. Now go try to push it in your lame duck. And then scratch your head. Why corporate Democrats keep getting their fucking ass handed to them. You just got your ass handed. Your legacy is wiped out because you handed the presidency over to a fucking racist. Wiped out. You. Because you're such a goddamn corporatist. Because you didn't do a fucking thing when you had the House and the Senate. You had both. And instead of fucking going over to Ben Nelson and saying, look, I need your vote. I'm your president. I need your vote. Lyndon Johnson got Southern Democrats to vote for the Civil Rights Bill, and they knew that was the end of their political career. And Lyndon Johnson said, I'm your president. I need your vote. I'm going to need it. And I know what this means, but you're doing the right thing and you're on the right side of history. And those people voted for the Civil Rights Act, and the Democrats been wiped out in the South ever since, and those motherfuckers did it anyway. They did the right thing. You know who didn't? Barack Obama. He didn't go to Ben Nelson. He didn't make him pass the public option. He didn't even offer a single payer. Whatever you guys will let me have, whatever the corporations will let me have, that's what we're going to give the people. And right now, people's Obamacare premiums are going up 24% across the board this year. Do you wonder why people didn't get off their ass to vote for more corporatism bullshit, especially when Hillary Clinton stands on her tippy toes and screams at the top of her lungs that universal health care will never happen?
And that myth, that line that they always slap back at you. Well, you're unicorn dust.
You're just fairy dust. Guess who was? It was the Hillary Clinton supporters, because she'll never be fucking elected. She's the worst politician in 100 years.
You just want perfection and purity. That's impossible. No, I don't want perfection and purity. I want somebody who will fight for it, though.
Yes.
Because when you fight for it, then you tend to get better things.
Yes. Start from your position and then negotiate.
Yeah.
You know, there's a quote, and I forget who said this. They said, I don't fight fascists because I think I'm going to win. I fight fascists because they're fascists. And that's what Bernie Sanders is saying. To that degree he pursues these policies, we are vigorously oppose him. Barack Obama didn't have any of that. I understand. Again, I know what people are going to say in the comments. He can't say that because, no. He could have said a lot of different shit. And again, he walks away and everyone just I felt empty after his speech. Like just emptiness and this election, you refer to it as, you diminish it as an intramural game. And somehow we're all supposed to, I guess we'll all feel better. I don't know. I'm sorry. Again, I know people are going to get on me about this, but there's just no end to this. And now he's going to go push the TPP. Did he scream about how we don't have a Supreme Court justice? Did he scream about how now they're going to have to govern? I'm just, anyway, there it is. Again, Bernie's getting it done. In 2 years, we gotta get rid of these corporate Democrats. We have Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, we have Elizabeth Warren, and we start real progressives. We had some progressive wins, in the House and the Senate. We did. We had some progressive wins in the House and Senate. We did. And that's this year. When Hillary Clinton got 6 million fewer votes than Barack Obama did in 2012. 6 million fewer fucking people showed up to vote for Hillary Clinton than showed up for Barack Obama. And people are saying that she lost because of racism. We elected Barack Obama twice. A lot of those people who voted for Barack didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. It's not fucking racism. You goddamn assholes. It's not just like Brexit. It's right. It's such an easy way to dismiss all of this. Just sexism and racism, stick head in the sand, repeat. Stupid assholes. The same assholes we told that Hillary was a loser last year are saying stupid shit again now. The same stupid fucking idiots. It's mind-blowing to me. Is it mind-blowing to you, Jim, to see those people saying that stuff?
I kind of expect it.
I guess we should expect it. Rachel Maddow tweeting out Jill Stein was her fault. Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, this speaks to what he's going to be like after he leaves office. Too.
Barack Obama?
I have a lot of,
he'll be mealy-mouthed after he leaves office.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to get involved.
Of anybody in the world who has more potential positive benefit to fixing money in politics it's a guy like him. With a long life ahead of him and his personal characteristics, but he's going to be he's going to be the same quiet, sleepy guy that talked about the Dakota thing. Trump is, the folks put him in office, and he's going to, shoot some nukes at Europe. That's the way he promised.
The American people voted him in, so I think we give him a chance. I think we have to give him his due. I think we give him a chance, and so we let him do his dick.
It's badminton, and both sides have a racket.
Both sides have a racket, and we hit the badminton. We hit the shuttlecock.
The shuttlecock over the fence. The net, I mean.
So it's time to get rid of these. Barack Obama, the reason why Trump is president, a big reason, is because 8 years of you helped people zero as far as income inequality. Zero. By the way, you're a Peace Prize winner. We're bombing 7 different countries. We're bombing Afghanistan for 15 years straight. 5 more years, we get a gold watch, Jim. We're bombing Yemen now at the behest of Saudi Arabia. We're helping with genocide of the Houthis in frickin' Yemen. Income inequality is greater. This is like medieval times as far as income inequality in the United States. It's worse now than during the Gilded Age. And remember what happened? Teddy Roosevelt came along and broke up all the monopolies. So we need somebody to break up all the media companies, break up all the fossil fuel companies. We need somebody to break up all the telecommunication companies. We need somebody to break up all the banks. That's what we need. We need real revolution, because in 2009, when Barack Obama became president, it was a turning point in America. And as the book Listen Liberal says, as Thomas Frank says, we came to a turning point in America in 2009, and America failed to turn. Barack Obama literally went to Wall Street and says, I'm going to protect you. I'm the one standing between you and the mobs with the pitchforks. And he did protect them. And he never did a jobs bailout. And he let the cops crack the heads of peaceful protesters on Occupy Wall Street. And how did they respond to Occupy Wall Street? With a jobs program? No. He let them take the union away from teachers in Wisconsin, and they cut unemployment benefits. This is the result. This is the result.
And Hillary Clinton calling the nurses union a fringe group.
The nurses union,
it.
a fringe group.
Good work.
This is
there.
the death. Hillary was just exposed the rot inside the left. Barack Obama covered it up with his pretty face and his likable personality. He covered it up. You didn't see the rot inside. He's pushing the TPP. Still, I still kind of like him, even though he's fucking me as hard as he possibly can. I still kind of like him. So now that's gone. Now that the pretty face on the rot inside the Democratic Party is gone, and all you see is the fucking rot.